In the previous video, we installed the Store DevTools, we created some actions, and we wrote the reducer for the customer feature. In this video, we are going to create a side effect for our application to communicate with an API, and we are going to manage that effect using the NgRx Effects library. We've already seen how components dispatch actions, and then the reducer takes the action and the current state and returns new state with the changes. The reducers are pure functions, but some actions in our application create side effects. For example, when we communicate with an external server. In order to handle those side effects, we use NgRx Effects in our application. These effects listen for an action being dispatched, use a service to communicate to the server, and once they get a response, they dispatch another action that then will be taken by the reducer. In this case, we have the load customers and load customers success actions. Let's implement this in our application. We'll start with the customer.effect.ts. It's going to be a service called customer effect. We import actions from NgRx Effects so we can listen to the actions. Then we import the type action from NgRx Store. Now we import from the RxJS library observable and off. And then we import some operators that we need. Map, merge map, and catch error. And last, we have to import the customer service, the customer actions, and the customer model. Now, in the constructor, we are going to inject the actions from the store so we can listen to them, and the customer service. Now we are going to register the effect using the effect decorator, and we are going to give it the name load customers, and it's going to be of type observable. Now, here we want to listen for the action, communicate with the server, and dispatch a new action with the data we get from the server. For that, we are going to use the pipe method. And first, we are going to specify the type of action that we want to listen for, and it's going to be load customers. Then, when that action is dispatched, we want to map over the action, and we're going to use the service to get customers from the server. Then we are going to map over the data we get from the server, which is going to be a customers array. And we are going to dispatch a new action, load customer success, passing in the customers. And in case there is an error, we are going to dispatch a load customers fail action, passing in the error. So let's save it. And here we have a warning, and it's because we forgot to add parentheses. Let's save it again, and it should be fine now. Now we have to add the effect to the customers module. We import the effects module, and the action, we also import the customer effect, and we add the effect module to the imports array using the forFeature method and passing in the customer effect. The last thing we need to do is include the effects and the HTTP modules to the app.module file. So we import the HTTP client module, then we import the effects module, and we add them to the imports array. We are going to leave the root effect empty and add the HTTP clients module. Let's update the component to load the customers when it's initialized. We import the store and the customer actions, and here we're going to dispatch a new load customers action using the strongly typed actions that we created before. Let's run npm start to make sure that everything is working. And if we refresh the application, we can see that we're dispatching the load customers and the load customers success actions, and we are loading the customers from the server using the effect and adding them to the store using the reducer. In this example, we are subscribing to the state directly from our component, but as our application grows, it becomes more complex to get what we want from the store. So instead of this approach, we are going to use selectors. Selectors are functions that subscribe to slices of the state and communicate the changes to the components. So anytime the state is updated, the components that are subscribed to the selector will be notified. Let's create the selectors in our component.reducer file. The first thing we need to do is import create feature selector and create selector from NgRx store. Once we've done that, we can add the selector functions at the bottom of the file. We are going to define a feature selector for the customer slice of state, and we are going to assign to it the slice of state that we want by using the create feature selector function, passing in the name of the slice. And now we can create selectors for the specific properties we want. We do that by using the create selector method, passing in the future state we just defined, and the specific property we want to get, in this case, the customer's property. So let's paste this code to create the rest of the selectors we need. The first one is going to be customers loading. Then we're going to have another selector for the customer's loaded property. And another one for the error. So let's save it. And now that we have the selectors, we can subscribe to them in our component. Let's open the customer list component. Import select from the store. We import observable type from RxJS. Import the customer reducer as from customer. and import the customer model. Now we specify that the customers is going to be an observable of type customer array. The store is going to be of type app state. Then we are going to subscribe to the selector we created before using the this.store.pipe method and selecting the selector that we created before. Now all we have to do in our template is add the async pipe to make sure it unsubscribes automatically when the component is destroyed. In the next video, we are going to explore the NgRx entity library and we'll add it to our application. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, smash the like button if you like it, and share this course with any person that might be interested.